Welcome back, guys, for the niche to my channel. This is the non-profit channel. I'm a non-profit company called Saarathi Foundation, Child Education and Social Welfare Foundation. So we help um, people to prepare to learn new skills. That includes your DevOps skills, like machine learning skills, even general, uh, the IT skills, along with the other skills. Also, we are working closely with Skill India, and in this video, basically, we are trying to give you some tips. Basically, that tips are more important because we cannot go ahead with the entire course of 6 hours or 18 hours. It's really boring to see all those things. So what most important thing nowadays is it's to crack the interviews. Even if you want to get a new experience, the first step is to crack the interviews. And sometimes we have a knowledge, we know what to do, how to do, but it's very difficult to crack the interviews. That's a general problem. And we at Sarthi, we try to help from our learnings. Learnings means we have more than 300 plus people who crack the interviews, and they are working on their DevOps projects. So we help them. I mean, they are very generous to share their experience, what they did well to crack the interviews. And everything is every interview is different, guys. So even sometime if you don't not able to crack the interview, leave it. So maybe this is not for you. So let's see what are the things which very important when you want to crack the interviews. There are four steps. Actually, there are many steps, but broadly speaking, there are four steps that makes a lot of difference. So the first thing is read the job description. Like, if you read the job description minimum 3 times, minimum means you can go ahead with the minimum or maximum 4 to 5 times. But job description is the key to understand what they're looking for. In many cases, it is a general description, like they are looking for a DevOps or Azure DevOps or AWS DevOps engineer with some coding skills and release management software. So this is general thing. As a DevOps engineer, are they looking for any development background or not? We don't know. So this is the first thing that you need to make a note of it, whether they are looking for anyone from a development background or someone from operation background with a DevOps experience. So make sure that your resume, when you write your resume, or making sure that your resume looks good means not every time you need to modify your resume, but the bullet points, the bullet skill sets, basically when it comes to the AWS, either you need to make sure that you are a AWS guy or you are a Azure guy. In the initial days, if you are 3 4 years of experience, you are looking at that, then don't say I know Azure, I know AWS, I know Google, everything. So that will get into the trouble, because they will ask you, they will consider you as a very senior, very talented resources, and he knows so many things, so they will ask you at the architect level questions, which is not a good thing for you. Always remember, guys, when you are attending the interview, the interviewer set up your level first, that this guy is a 2 years experienced guy or 3 years experienced guy, 4 5 10 15. So if your resume and your the way you are writing your resume and you're explaining those things to the client, that okay, you have 10 plus year experience, then the questions will be asked based on that. They will not ask you the questions which is like a fresher or 2 3 years experience guys. So keep it that mind. And most of the thing which is very important is make sure that you have these bullet point like CI/CD, Kubernetes, Jenkins, cloud formations. If we are looking for AWS services, for example, AWS cloud formation, code commit, code build, code pipeline. So these are the things. And if you're making sure that you are completely AWS guys, then make sure that you have AWS code prep tools also there. So coding how do you manage your code? So understand how the the DevOps cycle works in AWS. People will not directly come to you with the codes. Sometimes you need to get involved in the um, with the development also. It's no need to do coding, but need to understand what how they develop the code, whether it's a .NET, whether it's Java, whether it's Angular, or anywhere. So get some you know hands, not hands on, I would say, but ask questions, where from where, what are the language you are using, what are the platform you are using. That's very very important, guys. Now lastly, the next thing is, prepare your introduction speech. So first you update your resume. Once you get the JD, then update your resume that you are very much strong in Kubernetes, EKS, Kubernetes, ECS, CI/CD pipeline, how to create the pipeline, CI, continuous integration. What is the difference between that? CI and CD. So that's, make sure that you have a cheat sheet. We'll come to that, the cheat sheet part, and those the capstone project part. The second step in here is a step three, but actually the step two, your introduction. And your introduction, when you say introduction, means if you're completely new to this DevOps, you never had any experience, my suggestion is go through our three capstone project. Minimum three, guys. I'm not asking too many projects. Minimum three projects. You go through that, and every day go through that. Like morning, afternoon, evening, and go through that means you need to log into the Azure portal, and no need to create very expensive fancy resources, but make sure that you are you know comfortable with those screens and the tools, and after that which tools you need to create, where you need to click to make sure that you have to have a continuous integration, how to create the project, what is the use of organization in Azure, how to deploy, how to integrate your application with the SQL. So those things have a cheat sheet. In that cheat sheet, we have a screenshot or something. Uh, you can do that. I mean, that's something you need to know. That's very important, guys. If you're completely new and don't have experience on that, so, as a part of the project, we are migrating. Always when you say something in your experience, don't say that I only work on tickets. So tell them the brief idea about what you're doing here. For example, you can say that it's a Java or .NET development environment. Either way, I mean, not say it both. And then as a DevOps engineer, my responsibility is to manage the CI/CD pipeline creation and monitoring, and managing the artifacts. Artifacts are keep on changing as per the requirement. And as a part of the project, we are migrating some monolithic Java based old applications to Kubernetes, to EKS or AKS in Azure environment. How do you manage? So that these things will come to know when you join our crash course. That's will But you can say that it's monolithic applications. We create the docker file to docker image. That image will go to ECR, the repository, mainly the repository, elastic container repository. I'm talking about the AWS thing. So as I said earlier, select any of your cloud platform, and build your expertise out of that. So don't get too many things, all three cloud platform, because it's very difficult, guys. uh, we are here to make your interview experience simple. You can say I know everything, but it will be a big problem, because they will ask you, they will grill you on all the cloud technologies, because the person who will be taking your interview will be like 18 plus experience or 18 years plus experience. So having a 2 years experience with competing with the 20 years of experience is a bit problematic. So think about it, and make sure that you are either AWS guy or Azure guy. I mean, having a knowledge of other things, it's always good. I know those things, so that's what I'm saying. You have to have five or three minimum PhD level knowledge, like CI/CD, Kubernetes, and you can say Terraform. Or don't say Terraform, because Terraform is a huge thing. So make sure that CI/CD, Kubernetes, and uh, we can say application deployment, application migration, or application deployment in Kubernetes thing. It's just a bit simpler. I mean, it's not something, you need to work with the, Java team or the development team. They will make sure that they will give you the details of that, and make sure that you are telling them you write the code in YAML. Don't say I write the code in Java or something, because they will grill you on Java side. So YAML is the language for DevOps, whether it's a cloud formation thing, whether it's for its Terraform thing. It's very simple. So we'll have a separate Terraform session, guys. I'm telling you, Terraform is very complicated thing. It's not that easy thing. So if you are focusing on Terraform, please focus on Terraform, then remove this Kubernetes and everything. And if you want to do it, you can do it too many things. It's not a problem, but I'm saying minimum, make sure that you have to have minimum two to three things, like expertise, extremely good expertise on Git side. The second thing is a pipeline side, the CI pipeline. What do you mean by CI thing, and what do you mean by CD thing? How they are different, and how do you manage the code? I mean, those things are code means how to select the different sources. So those things, once you do two three times this capstone project, it will be very easy for you to you know talk about that as a story. Always remember, guys, don't first of all, be confident comes with the practice. So even I tell you that, okay, do talk like this, no, it needs some preparation, guys. And you are attending the interviews for big bucks, like 30, 15 lakhs or 10 lakhs or 8 lakhs or 10 lakhs a package. So and by the way, there's most important thing, even if you crack the interview by some help, but getting working on those environments is very challenging nowadays. They will put you directly on some coding side or continuous delivery side and Kubernetes side, and they will ask you to do the things. So it's always better to have a project level knowledge, like capstone project, where you will feel the real world scenarios. How do you can make the stories out of that. Something very important. Make sure some topics are just strong topic, as I said earlier. Three, four, five. So we normally use the term three, four, five. Three is a PhD level knowledge. Four is MTech or BTech level knowledge, and five is a general. So three topics, when you clear, make sure that your three topics are very very strong, including your project thing. Then you can say that I am strong in CI/CD, I'm strong in pipeline side, I'm strong in artifact, continuous delivery side. I'm strong in cloud formation, I'm strong in Kubernetes thing. These are the things that they are looking for. I mean, the other things also, when you say cloud, don't say I'm only a DevOps engineer, I don't know anything about the cloud side. So basic understanding about cloud is must, guys. Even though you're a DevOps engineer, uh, it's must nowadays that you have to have a good understanding about the cloud service. Not only to be an architect, cloud solution architect, but as a cloud engineer, you need to know the networking, storage, and application services. What are those database services? So there are four pillars. One is the VPC with the network side. One is your system side, like EC2 instances, load balancers, ELB, and those things. The third thing is the database thing, and the fourth thing is your application lambda side. So if you are looking for DevOps thing, make sure that you are good in lambda side, because they are looking for lambda. The automation side means the lambda is basically the triggering and automation side. But along with that, the basics of AWS or Azure. Either way, I mean, you can go with the either way. Basic knowledge, how to what is a VNet, what is a VPC, how do you deploy the EC2 instances, how do you deploy the VMs in Azure, what is the storage, S3 storage, and what is the Bob storage and the blob storage and in Azure. So basic understanding, simple one or two projects is good for you. So you have three projects from DevOps and two projects from AWS. Project means, guys, you're not working. I mean, if you're not, even sometimes you're working, your job is very limited. Always remember, um, even though your job is limited, doesn't mean that you are not learning and you're not doing any R&D. If you are in the comfort zone, forget about the cracking interviews. Those people who are in their comfort zone cannot crack tough interviews. It's my experience, guys. So even I worked as a for a very big company, very big position, but I always try to attend the interviews. I take the interviews. Attend the interviews as well. So make sure that your top topics, some three topics should be strong: Kubernetes, CI/CD. It's up to you guys, but make sure that Kubernetes should be there and CI/CD should be there, because these are the key area where they are looking for you to work on that. And then the final step is create your cheat sheet. It's very very important, guys. You cannot go through all the topics. When say Monday is your interview, they will tell you on the Friday, so you have only 2 days. So um, log into your Azure account or AWS account, do this capstone project one or two times, 2 3 times, and then tell them that that's what you're doing. I mean, don't say capstone project, but it will help you to talk about the DevOps thing. What is your experience on DevOps? So make sure that whenever you face the problem, please make a note of it. It's very important, guys. Now in the world of automation, you're facing some issues. It's a gold mine, because the issue that you are discussing during interviews, that makes a very positive impression towards the employer, that you know many things, right? So that's it, guys. If you are looking for any crash course, that we are running the crash course and the cheat sheet for AWS DevOps or Azure DevOps, then please get in touch with us and we'll be happy to help you out. My name is we are here from Saarathi Foundation. It's a non-profit organization, and based of Bangalore. And if you want to get in touch with us, you can directly reach us on uh, 9620 and we'll happy to help you out. And till then, happy learning.